Okay, so now for this video, we are going to see continuous random variables. So you have already seen how to change from probability density function to cumulative distribution function from PDF to CDF, which is we have to integrate. So now for this video, we are going to focus on how to change CDF to PDF, which is we are going to differentiate, and also we are going to see how to find median. Okay, for if the question give you CDF. Okay, remember if median, you can find median given PDF and also CDF for CRV, but for DRV you can only find median if you have CDF. Okay, so now let's see. We are going to see how to find the median from PDF and CDF. Okay, so for PDF, you know that saya cakap dalam kelas, if PDF, you always have to integrate. Okay, so that's why we have this formula here. Okay, this one I already explained in class. This is if you have PDF, and this one here is if you have CDF. Okay, the same formula for CDF DRV. Okay, that means kalau kita ada PDF, we have to integrate your fx equals to 0.5, but if you have CDF, you don't have to integrate, you just have to substitute the value of where your 0.5, okay, in your function. So let's see if I can draw a graph here. What is this? Okay, let's see, we have a graph here. Let's see, this is 1 2 3 4. So obviously your median will be in the middle here. Okay, so this is your median, which is, you know that this is 0.5, this is 0.5. That's why we have to integrate from negative infinity to m, okay, equals to 0.5 to find the value for the median if you are given PDF. Okay, if you are given CDF, let's see, if you are given fx, okay, remember CDF is capital F. Let's see if I have a function 1 over 12x, 1 over 3, x minus 1, 1. Okay, so here we have x less than 0, here we have 0, x2, here we have 2, x4, here we have x greater than 4. Okay, for example, if you have PDF, you just integrate from negative infinity, in this case just 1 to m, okay, which is 1 to m. Your fx equals to 0.5. But if you have CDF, what we have to do to find median, you just substitute the value. Okay, you substitute 2. Let's see if I substitute 2 into this function. F2 equals to 1 over 12 times 2, we got 0.3. Okay, so you know that 0.3 is less than 0.5. Cumulative. Okay, we are talking about cumulative. So 0 up until this point, x equals to 2, the total probability is only 0.3. That means your median is somewhere around this function here. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to substitute fm equals to 0.5. That means you have to substitute m into this function. So how to find median given CDF? You have to choose the function first, then substitute m into your x. Okay, alright, so mungkin pelik sikit nampak, or you might be confused, but that's okay. Let's just do the example. Okay, so two things to identify for chapter 9. This is a continuous random variable, okay, CRV with PDF. So as I said, there's always integration involved if you have PDF CRV. So we have a function here, fx equals to 1 over 4, 4 minus x. If we represent this in number line, so we have 1, 3, this is 1 over 4, 4 minus x. Okay, the first question asks us to find the cumulative distribution function fx. So now let's see. You know that from PDF to CDF you have to integrate. So we have to integrate for each and every range, which means for x less than 1, and then for x between 1 and 3 equals, because given in the question here, and we have to integrate for x greater than 3. Okay, and obviously this will be 0, 0. So now let's start with for x less than 1. So we have capital F, x, because we are doing CDF, integrate from negative infinity supposedly to 1. But remember, the definition is up until x because we want to find the function. Okay, so 0 dx, which is equals to 0. Okay, very easy, very straightforward. So moving on to the next function, we have the next range. We have x is between 1 and 3. Both are included. So we have fx equals to integrate from negative infinity to 1, function 0, plus 1 to 3. Okay, 1 to 3. But the last number, the last range, the last limit has to be changed to x because we are finding a function. Okay, so now the function is 1 over 4, 4 minus x dx. Okay, now we are going to integrate that part, which is the first part here. This part represent FA. Okay, our A here is 1 lah. Okay, this is your A, this is your B. So F1 here, this is the answer for F1. Okay, plus integrate 1 over 4, we get 4x minus x squared over 2. Integrate from 1 to x. So F1, we substitute in 1 into this function, obviously you get 0. So we end up with 1 over 4, 4x minus x squared over 2 minus, this is one thing, 4 minus 1 over 2. Which is, you can simplify that, you'll get 1 over 4, 4x minus x squared over 2 minus this one, 4 minus 1 over 2. We have 8 over 2, 7 over 2, multiply by 1 over 4, we'll get 7 over 8. Okay, so that is your function for the second range. And we have to continue for x greater than 3. So for x greater than 3, we have fx equals to, just start from the beginning, negative infinity to x, function 0, plus 1 to 3, function 1 over 4, 4 minus x dx, plus, and the last one, 3 to infinity, but we change the last limit to x, 0 dx. Okay, and the whole thing here is equals to fb, which is b here is 3. And this one is obviously 0. So where are we going to get f3 is from the previous function. We sub 3 in the previous function. So that will be 1 over 4. 4 times 3, here we have a bracket, minus 9 over 2, minus 7 over 8. Okay, is that correct? Yep, okay. So supposedly the answer has to be 1. Okay, so kalau tak dapat 1, maksudnya ada something wrong with the previous function. Okay, you have to get 1 here because the total probability, your f3, your last limit here will be equals to 1. Okay, so now we have a function. So let's write our function. Fx equals to, piecewise, just write everything that we have. 0, 1 over 4, 4x minus x squared over 2 minus 7 over 8, and the last one is 1. Okay, and the limit here, just follow the red color, x less than 1, x between 1 and 3, and last one here is x greater than 3. So this is our CDF for question A. Okay, this one. Now let's see question B. Find the median M. So we know that we have two ways to find median, which is by using PDF, which is from this formula, and if you have CDF, we can use this formula. Okay, so now we have both. We have PDF and also we already find our CDF. If the question said hence, okay, if the question asks you to find your CDF and then the question said hence find the median, you have to use FM equals to 0.5. Okay, from what you have already found from question A. But if the question doesn't say anything, you are free to do anything. Okay, you are free to use both of this formula. Okay, salah satu lah, either one, not both. So now let's see, if we want to use the PDF, we have to integrate from negative infinity, which is start from 3 up until m. Okay, m is in the middle here, that's why we integrate from 1 to m. Okay, so if we are using PDF, integrate 1 to m, function 1 over 4 minus x dx equals to 0.5. Okay, so you have to integrate your function, substitute your m, and then you get the answer. But now I want you to show you how to use fm equals to 0.5, which is we are going to use this CDF function. Fm equals to 0.5. Okay, as you can see, this function, okay, bukan this function ialah PDF. Kalau kamu guna this function, you have to integrate. So we only have one function, satu je function kita. So obviously the median will be in this function. Okay, dalam range yang di sini. Ini m kamu, right? Your m is between 1 and 3. Obviously your median mestilah dalam function ni juga. So you don't have to do anything extra. Kita just substitute m dekat dalam function situ. Okay, just substitute your m into your x. So we'll have 4m minus m square over 2 minus 7 over 8 equals to 0.5. Okay, so now for bawa sebelah, we have 4m minus m square over 2. Here we have 0.5 plus 7 over 8 divided by 1 over 4. You supposedly get 11 over 2. Okay, so now let's rearrange this. Multiply everything with 2. We have m square. Let's just write this as 8m minus m square equals to 11. And then if we rearrange, you have m square minus 8m plus 11 equals to 0. Right. So if you put this in your calculator dalam equation tu, you'll get decimal. Okay, dapat square root kan? So you know quadratic equation ada 3 cara: factorize, quadratic formula, and also completing the square. Okay, so if the equation cannot be factorized, so you have to write your quadratic formula. So ada markah dekat situ. So we have m equals to negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac. So we have b square minus 4ac. Okay, kira yang di atas multiply by 2a. Right, kira yang di atas, kira yang di bawah, you supposedly get m equals to 8 plus minus square root 20 over 2. Okay, which is we have 1.764 or 6.236. Okay, so now m kita ada dua. Okay, 1.764 or 6.236. Okay, which is what you have from the equation yang kamu tekan dalam calculator tu. Okay, you can just take the answer from that, but this one you have to show. Okay, ingat equation mesti kena ada equation yang tak boleh factorize, so you have to write the quadratic formula. But now, what is our median? Okay, median tak boleh jadi dua, median hanyalah satu. So what we have to do here is look back at the range here. Okay, your m is supposedly be between 1 and 3. So dekat sini kita boleh buat conclusion, since m is between 1 and 3, therefore m kita sama dengan berapa? M is equals to 1.764. Okay, so ini kita reject lah, sebab dia dah out of range kita. Right, so that is how we find median by using CDF. Fm equals to 0.5. Okay, so now moving on, we are going to see how to find PDF if given CDF. Okay, so apa yang kita akan buat? Kita akan differentiate lah. exact same thing macam mana kita cari PDF, daripada PDF pergi CDF, bezanya cuma differentiate sahaja. Okay, so we have to go for each and every range yang kita ada. So for question A, okay, macam biasa we have CRV, but now the question give us CDF. Okay, maybe there is differentiation involved. The question said find PDF, so obviously will be differentiation. So now what we are going to do is we are going to go one by one. Okay, so the first one, for x less than 0, 1 by 1, okay, one by one the range. So remember, from CDF to PDF we have to differentiate. So differentiate d over dx, just take this function here. Okay, differentiate 0, obviously you get 0. Okay, you have to write this. This is your fx lah. Okay, small f, sebab kita tengah buat PDF. Next, we continue for the next range for 0x3. Okay, x between 0 and 3. So to find the PDF, we have fx equals to differentiate the function given, x cubed over 27. Remember macam mana nak differentiate? Okay, power pindah depan, power tolak 1. Okay, we have over 27, which is here, if we simplify, we have x squared over 9. And the last one, we have 4 x greater than 3. So we have fx. Sekejap saya naikkan sikit di sini. Alright, for fx equals to differentiate, which is the function is 1. Differentiate 1, a constant will still be 0. So now you have function 0, 0 x squared over 9. Okay, make sure you have to write the piecewise function. Okay, so 0, 0 kita boleh sekalikan. Let's put x squared over 9, which is the range is the red color, just follow the red color, and 0 here will be otherwise. Okay, kita kumpulkan the zeros and that will be otherwise. So that is your probability density function for question A. And the second one, sketch the function y equals to fx, which is we have to sketch the PDF function. So this is just basic sketching piecewise function. Okay, so we have our x, we have our fx, 0, 3. We have 0, we have 3. So what we have to do is just basically substitute 0 into this function. We have 0. Open or close, you have equal here, so that will be close. Substitute 3 into this function, you have 9 over 9, which is 1. Okay, so fx will be 1. And this one will be dense circle, sebab equal dekat sini. And this is a quadratic function. Okay, quadratic function macam ni lah. So your graph will be looking something like this. But we only want from 0 to 3. So dia akan jadi separuh sajalah. Okay. Alright, so that is how we sketch our PDF function. Okay, so now, so this one, reminder again, from PDF to CDF, we have to integrate. From CDF to PDF, we have to differentiate. Okay, the same concept, which is we have to do for every range, for each and every range. So let's see the last example here, example 23. Given CDF for CRV. So CRV, CDF. Maybe there is differentiation involved sebab kita ada CDF. Maybe dia suruh cari PDF. But the first question kat sini dia suruh cari constant A and B. Okay, kalau kamu ada graph PDF, kalau kita ada function PDF, you know that if you have to find constant, you have to use negative infinity fx dx equals to 1. Betul? This one here. Okay, which is we have to find constant. But what happen kalau kita ada CDF? Macam mana nak cari constant? Okay, so this is what we have to do. this value 0 dekat sini, 0 is kita tengah buat continuous random variable kan. Kalau kamu ingat lah kita punya continuity kita limit fx, jangan terkejut pula ada limit, saya just nak tunjuk je kenapa dia equal. Okay, limit fx when x approaches to a from the right is equals to limit fx when x approaches to a from the left. Okay, obviously we are doing continuous random variable, continuous, so your limit is equal. So that means we can substitute 0 into this function, and if we substitute 0 into this function, that will be equal. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we are going to substitute 0 into this function and 0 into this function. Okay, so let's see. For range x is between -2 and 0, we have function 1 over 12, 2 plus x. So we substitute 0 into that function. You should get 2 plus 0 here, supposedly 1 over 6. Okay, so now we have 0, substitute into that function, and we have another 0 here. Okay, 0, which is for the range x is between 0 and 4. We have f0 equals to a plus x over 6. Obviously that will be 0. So what we are going to do, because of this definition, limit fx from the left is equals to limit fx from the right, because it is continuous. So what we can assume here is your a is equals to 1 over 6. Okay, this is your 1 over 6 and this is your a. Okay, alright. So now we are going to find our b. So we are going to do the exact same thing here, but for and this 4 here. So we are going to substitute this 4 into this function and this 4 into this function. Okay, so now let's see. For range x to 4, we have f4 equals to a plus 4 over 6, which is we have our a is 1 over 6. 1 over 6 plus 4 over 6, we have 5 over 6 here. So the next one, for the range x is between 4 and 6, we substitute 4 into the function, we have b plus 4 over 12. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to equate both of these. Okay, let's see. We have b plus 4 over 12 equals to 5 over 6, and you'll get your b equals to 1 over 2. Okay, so this is 5 over 6, this is 5 over 6, and we have this is b plus 4 over 12, this is b plus 4 over 12. Okay, right. So now we already found our a and b, so we can change the function here. This is 1 over 6, this is 1 over 2. Okay, now let's see the next question. Find the PDF. So you have CDF, you want to find PDF, so obviously we have to differentiate. So what we have to do is we have to differentiate for each sign here, each range here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So question B. So we have for x less than -2. Okay, which is the function is 0. For x less than -2. So we have fx small f, because we are finding the PDF, differentiate the function, which is the function is 0. Differentiate 0, we'll still get 0. Okay, and the next one, the next range here is -2, 0. So x is between -2 and 0. So we have fx equals to d over dx. So what's the function for that range? We have 1 over 12, 2 plus x. 1 over 12, 2 plus x. Okay, so 1 over 12 is the constant. Differentiate 2, you'll get 0. Differentiate x, you'll get 1. So only 1 over 12. So the next range here is for this one here. X is between 0 and 4. And the function is 1 over 6, x over 6. So for x is between 0 and 4, function is fx equals to differentiate 1 over 6 plus x over 6. Okay, differentiate 1 over x, 0. Differentiate x over 6, we have 1 over 6. Next range is x between 4 and 6. Function is 1 over 12 plus x over 12. So for range x is between 4 and 6, the function is fx equals to d over dx. What's the function? 1 over 2 plus x over 12. So differentiate 1 over 12, a constant, 0. Differentiate x over 12, we have 1 over 12. And the last range here we have for x greater and equals to 6, function is 1. Okay, for x greater and equals to 6, function is 1. So differentiate 1, obviously will get 0. So we have everything, so the only thing that we have to do is we have to put it in piecewise function. So we have fx here, small f, for probability density function. So what we have to do here is kita ikut je. We have 0, 0, that will be otherwise. So kita ikut je 1 over 12, 1 over 6, 1 over 12. So 1 over 12, 1 over 6, 1 over 12, and the last one is 0. And now we just follow the range that we write in red color here. So the first 1 over 12 is for negative 2, x 0, and the second one is for 0, x 4, and the third one, 1 over 12, is for x 6, and the last one we have 0, so that will be otherwise. Okay, so that is how we find PDF given CDF. Okay, so now let's see the next question here. They ask us to find x between 3 and 5. Okay, so if you want to integrate, okay, if you want to use this PDF, you have to integrate. But from the question, we have fx. Okay, let's make it our life easier. This one we can just simply turn into f5 minus f3. So we have CDF, then we just only have to substitute. So to find the probability of P3x5, remember the equal sign doesn't matter. This one will straight turn into f5 minus f3. You don't have to integrate. Okay, you don't have to use PDF. Just use what's given in the question. So here, 5. Which one is 5? Remember to refer to the CDF. 5 is here. Okay, so you have to substitute 5 into this function. 1 over 2 plus x over 12. So here we have 1 over 2 plus 5 over 12. And f3. 3 is here. This is 3. So you have to substitute 3 into this function. 1 over 6 plus x over 6. 1 over 6 plus 3 over 6. And you'll get the answer 1 over 4. Okay. So that is how we find PDF given CDF. Alright. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.